also on this leg. Oh, there we go. Hi, Austin. Hi,
What's
Austin.
up, gang? Hi.
Hi, guys. So now
Can you guys hear all right?
it looks like we have Kawaiahaʻo School as well is with us. And we have Austin,
cool.
our crew member. And we have, we're on mute right now at Lunalilo Elementary. They'll talk to Maui in a little while.
Okay.
You can see them setting up their room. But right now we have Aina Haina Elementary in the room to talk to Austin, who is their crew member.
Hi. What's up, gang?
Great. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna ask Austin a question right now, and then you guys can think of another question that you might want Austin to answer. So Austin, as Lunalilo Elementary, or I'm sorry, as Aina Haina Elementary thinks about their question, could you answer this question from a Kapa'a student?
Mm-hmm.
What is the hardest part about adjusting to the world on the canoe? Do you prepare ahead of time to get used to any loneliness you might feel?
Think of a good question.
So I'll start off with that first part.
He's in below right now, so
I think the hardest part about adjusting is getting used to.
No.
Who gets seasick? Did you guys get seasick?
I'm sorry.
No? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes,
Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Okay. Okay, so I think the hardest part is adjusting is getting over seasick, but when you sleep on the canoe and you sleep a whole night, then your brain gets used to it, and that's why you'll be fine on the canoe and you won't get seasick anymore, but when you come back to land, you'll be walking all funny. So that's probably like the hardest part of adjusting is to like not be seasick anymore. And then dealing with the loneliness, I think the reason that hopefully is not a problem is because we're all really good friends.
He already said
We sail together. We've been training for over 2 years together now. So we all know each other pretty well, and
Think of a good question.
and hopefully we wouldn't get lonely because we have our friends on the boat with us. Yeah.
Sorry, Austin. That was an excellent.
You sail with your friends. That's how you don't get lonely.
Great. So Austin, I muted Dory's class really quick. They have to unmute in order to ask a question. So they have to go back to their screen and unmute themselves. In the meantime, I wanted to let everybody know and remind you that this is a Hangout on air, so it is being recorded to YouTube. It's not a public link yet, but it will be at some point so that we can share all of the crew members' responses with the rest of the world. So right now I'm going to bring...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Dory, if you guys can unmute on your side, I muted you, but I can't unmute you. So if you can unmute from your computer, and then your students can ask Austin a couple of questions.
Okay, we're on mute. Ask the question. Wait, mic up. Come over here. Hurry up. Buddy, hurry up.
What is your first question?
Ask a question to him. Hurry up. He's wasting his time. Just ask.
What is one of the most common things you have to do on board? Something happened.
Oh, okay. What's the most common thing we have to do on board?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on watch, which means it's like it's your turn to be working on the canoe, your responsibility is steering the canoe. So it usually takes like 3 or 4 of us with a big steering blade, like you've seen, and so we have to go where the navigator says, and that's probably the most common thing that you have to do when you're on watch. But it takes a lot of energy, so we trade off every 4 hours. And then if you're not steering, then you can help the cook. You can start dinner, you can wash dishes, or maybe if there's nothing else to do at the time, you can hang out and like play music or read or something.
Thank you.
Awesome, great, you guys. So just so
welcome.
you know, I think you can tell that Austin is on about a 2-second lag from the satellite feed. So when you ask him a question, maybe you know, just keep in mind that he's gonna hear it a little while after you start asking it.
Hey, George, you gotta step back.
What was the question?
What does he do?
Guys,
Oh, he's going in there.
How do you?
Say, Austin,
Austin,
what do you do
what do you do when you're on board?
when you're bored?
Wait, no, what do you do when you're
Um,
bored, not on board?
Hopefully you're never bored. I'm not sure. We try and there's a lot of different jobs on the canoe. So if you're not steering and you're not helping cook or clean the canoe, cleaning the canoe is very important so that nobody gets sick. Sometimes we'll bring along projects like I'm making nets for my water bottle right now, and I might make some more gifts on board so when I get to Tahiti, maybe I can give away some things that I made on the canoe. But yeah, if you guys remember, I asked you when I came to the school if you guys have any good ideas for gifts that kids in Tahiti might want that I could make. Let me know.
Okay, next.
Okay.
If you don't see yourself in the screen, then you're not being seen.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, go down.
Okay. Okay. What's the main dish on board for like food?
Ooh, the main dish on board. I think for dinner time,
Yeah.
a lot of the times we'll have like different kind of pastas and things because you can heat up the water in the pot and make pasta. But like if we catch fish, we can make fish pasta. We can bring out spaghetti sauce and make spaghetti and like meatballs kind of thing. So I know like if you had to choose one dish that we probably cook a lot, it would be something like pasta, or always like a lot of we'll always have something with like a hapa rice, which is like brown and white rice. That's something we cook a lot too, just like at your house.
Okay, go. Next. Go.
Hopefully we're eating a lot of fish.
Next. Quick. Next. Quick.
Oh.
No.
Oh, so you're not on Hokulea yet? Not sailing?
Uh-huh.
Ask him when does he go.
Yeah. When?
No, we're standing by waiting.
Oh.
We have a ceremony here on Saturday. Yeah, the canoes are right here. But we're not sure when we're gonna leave yet. We need to wait till the wind is good. So that means that for us going up to Tahiti, the wind is more out of like the northeast. Right now the winds aren't ideal to leave, so we gotta wait for good wind.
Oh. What kind of weather was on the where you like? Yeah, like was it rough or?
When the canoes came up? Is that the question?
Yes.
Sorry.
When
Oh, I think the weather was really mellow. I think they got towed by another boat most of the way. I actually wasn't on board. I flew up so that I could go and do all my shopping and visit my family and stuff before I leave. So I just flew up to Hilo this morning.
Okay.
But my friends sailed up. Yeah.
Okay, Aina Haina Elementary, I have one more question.
Are you gonna are you gonna come back and visit us when you come back?
Sure. Of course I'll come back and visit. I'll try and maybe bring something from Tahiti that I can show you guys.
Yay! Yay!
Yeah, I'd love to come back and visit. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Austin.
Have a nice day.
Be
You
safe.
guys are welcome. You too.
Have a nice
Okay.
day.
Have a good rest of the school day.
Awesome. Okay, Austin, it looks like we have Maui's 2 schools standing by. Is Maui with you?
Okay. Is Maui around?
Everybody sit down.
Hey.
It's gonna be the next day.
National Geographic. Okay, I'm gonna put Maui on.
Thank you. Bye, Austin. See you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, Maui.
We're supposed to be.
Okay, Lunalilo Elementary, you are welcome. Oh, sorry, you are welcome to start thinking about the questions that you're gonna ask. I did send the crew the questions that you submitted on the form, and the one that you have specifically about cooking the coconut rice, we're actually gonna have one of our cooks record a message to you, and then send it to you later. Maui is one of our media specialists, and so he's going to answer your questions about technology and some of the other questions that Kawaiahaʻo School submitted as well. Okay?
Aloha.
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 Okay, Lunalilo Elementary, can you hear?
Hi.
Yes.
Great. Kawaiahaʻo School, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, Maui, you have both of your adopted schools in this hangout with you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. It's great to see you all.
That's great. So,
Oh my goodness,
as I was
there you are.
I was
Cool.
explaining to the students that there are a couple of rules. The first one is that when we're not speaking, we try to be quiet so that Maui can hear the person that is speaking and you can hear him clearly. The other thing is he's on a couple of seconds delay. So when you ask him a question, give him some time to answer because he's hearing the question a little bit after you ask it. And the third thing is we never ever talk to the canoes about time or location. So even if Maui right now is on the shore next to the canoe, it's good to practice that we don't talk about time or location. Okay? Okay, so we'll start with Lunalilo Elementary and then it'll be Kawaiahaʻo School's turn. Okay?
Okay.
All right, first question up. Did you guys want to ask your question or did you want me to read it, the one that you sent?
How do you protect the technology from the rain?
Oh, that's a very good question. We know if we get our cameras or anything wet, they're not going to work anymore. So we have a few ways of protecting our technology from the rain. For the cameras, we have these little plastic, they're kind of like bags, but they're really fancy plastic bags that we can put over the camera to keep it safe from the rain. We also have GoPro cameras. If you know what a GoPro camera is, it's a little camera inside its own case and it can get wet and it's okay. And then for my computer and my other technology, we're actually in a hale. On Hikianalia, we have a little house on the deck. So I have my computer and my monitor and all my other technological equipment there. So yeah, I see you guys have your computers and your editing stations. So I have mine in the hale on Hikianalia, and that protects it from the rain and the waves and stuff. Good question.
Awesome. Okay, Lunalilo Elementary, did you have another question? Maybe one that you didn't submit? As I mentioned before, you had one question specifically about a recipe that you made that was in the newspaper, the coconut rice one. We're going to have one of our cooks, Kawaiahaʻo, he's going to answer that question for you. So you can feel free to ask Maui some other questions.
How many people are going on the hokulea?
All right. There's going to be 13 crew members on Hokulea and 16 on Hikianalia, which is the canoe I'll be on. So there's almost 30 of us going to Tahiti on this trip.
Okay, next question.
How do you get Wi-Fi?
Office immediately, please. All TLCs, if there is no TLC available, a representative from the grade level, could you please come to the office?
Okay, try again.
How do you guys get Wi-Fi?
How do we get Wi-Fi? Yeah, that's a great question because we're going to be in the middle of the ocean. It's really cool, actually. We have 2 Wi-Fi antennas, one on each canoe.
So it looks like he's in a little lag. Sometimes that happens. We'll just wait for him to come back. It's really funny when they get frozen in funny ways. This is not so funny. He looks normal. Sometimes they don't look very normal. Maybe his Wi-Fi is not working that well right now. Okay. So what we'll do is when this happens, and this is why we're thanking you guys so much for being part of our tests while they're still in Hilo, is that hopefully they'll realize that they're not connected anymore, and then what we can do is they'll call back again. And I'm just letting one of their technicians know that they're frozen and seeing if they can get, oh, so they dropped out of the call and they will probably call back in. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to re-invite them and see if they come in. Thank you guys for your patience. Okay. We'll see what happens. Okay, so in the meantime, maybe we can think about some really great questions that you might have. Kawaiahaʻo School, the questions that we got off of the Ask the Crew a Question form that you submitted, I'm going to repeat them to you, and then you can tell me if you have, or you can think about more questions that you might have. You had 2 questions submitted. How do you navigate on a cloudy night? And what do you prepare? And how do you handle the va'a during rough swells? So those are the 2 questions that were submitted from Kawaiahaʻo. Is that correct, Kawaiahaʻo? Did you have another question that you might want to ask?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to bring them back in very shortly. I just sent them a message to say that they should try us back, and hopefully they can rejoin. So this is one of the things that might happen, though. One of the things that we're really careful about is that when the weather is bad, we might not be able to have these hangouts because it's dependent on the satellite feed that the canoes can get. And in particular, between Hokulea and Hikianalia, they actually have to be really close. Oh, they're coming back in. And they have to be like kind of in a straight line in order to catch signal. But right now, I think it looks like Maui's back in, and he can continue answering that question. So Maui, thank you for rejoining us. And you were in the middle of answering the question about how the canoes get Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so actually what just happened was our satellite connection dropped out, so we had to restart it. So that's going to happen sometimes. It's pretty new. But that was a great example in the middle of your question of how we do that and what we have to do when it drops. So I'm pretty sure that was our satellite connection. It dropped out, so we just restarted it. So yeah, we have our Wi-Fi between the canoes, and then from the Hikianalia we have the satellite dish, and then that's how we connect with you folks and people all over the world. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Good question.
Okay, Lunalilo Elementary, another question?
What is the sail made out of?
Ooh, the sail is made out of canvas, and we have sail makers. His name is Munch, and he makes all our sails, and they're custom made, and that's about all I know. I don't know any more than that, but they're made out of canvas. It's really strong fabric. And we have a sail repair kit on board in case something happens, then we can fix our sails out at sea and sew them back up.
How do you feel right now on the Hokulea?
How do I feel right now? I feel very lucky. I feel very grateful. Hokulea is a very special canoe for lots and lots of people. And just because all the crew members here have so many people that helped us to get here. And they say each crew member has at least 100 people standing behind them that did stuff to support us and to help us to get here, and that we're not here for ourselves, even though we get to have fun sailing and have this very special experience. We're here, you know, because of all of you, because you guys are supporting us, and you're learning and you're helping. And yeah, so remember that you guys are just as special as us out on the canoe, if not more, because you're going to be spreading malama honua and telling your friends and family and making this world a better place. So I feel very grateful, and I'm happy that you all are coming along with us. Maybe not on the canoe, but definitely on the voyage and the mission. You guys are the ones that are going to be sailing in the future. So thank you.
How is Imiloa doing?
Imi is having a good time. Actually, I don't have him with me right now, but he made a friend. Him and Hokupa'a, which Hokupa'a is from Kawaiahaʻo school. I have some pictures and I sent them to your teachers. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see them yet, but they're actually hanging out on Hikianalia right now, taking a nap. It's really hot, so they're staying out of the sun while we're doing all our work over here. But Imi is having a great time. We sailed up from Oahu and went to Maui and got some good pictures for you guys, and hopefully you get to see them soon. But we just started our adventure, and me, Imiloa, Hokupa'a, and the rest of the crew, we're going to have a great time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, when you're done cooking something, where do you put the rubbish?
If it's rubbish, we put it in plastic bags, and we hang on to it till we get to port. If it's food stuff, we can just dump it overboard, and the fish and the ocean will take care of it. But we try not to take as much things as possible on board that will create rubbish. We try to leave all the packaging, if food comes in packaging or stuff, we try to leave as much of it on shore as possible, because we don't want to take rubbish out there. We want to try to reduce our rubbish, reduce our waste, not just on the canoe, but even, at home. Instead of maybe going to the store and buying food, if we can have gardens and grow our own food, then there's no rubbish, yeah? So.
Okay, thank you.
We definitely take care of our rubbish. We don't let it go into the ocean. We take care of it.
Okay.
That's great. Lunalilo Elementary, you have time for one more question, and then you can hang out for the rest of the segment with Kawaiahaʻo if you're interested, but you have time for one more question.
Here, one more. Let's go. Nice and loud.
If someone gets sick on the Hokulea or Hikianalia, do you guys have medicine?
Yes, we do have medicine in case people get sick or aren't feeling well. We actually have a doctor. Dr. Zunin is on board Hikianalia, and he has some coolers with the medicine and other medical equipment. And on board Hokulea, there are medical liaison officers who have been trained by Dr. Zunin, so that they can help crew members if they're feeling sick or if they get hurt. So yeah, safety is our #1 priority while we're sailing. So everything we can do to be safe and to be healthy will help us on our voyage. So yeah, we have a doctor, and he has all the stuff he needs, medicine and otherwise, to take good care of us. Good question.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, so Lunalilo Elementary, thank you very much. We're going to switch over to Kawaiahaʻo School. Are you ready for your questions and your time with Maui?
Yes!
Great. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Where does Hokupa'a see?
Where does Hoku Pa'a sleep? Hoku Pa'a is sleeping right next to Imiloa in the hale on Hikianalia, where it's nice and dry. So when I'm doing my work, they're sitting there right with me. When I'm working on my computer, they're hanging out. And when it's nice and the weather's good and they're not going to get too wet, we go outside and we hang out in the sun and with the other crew members. But yeah, at night they sleep in the hale.
Awesome.
With the captain and the first mate.
So Maui, there are 2 questions from Kawaiahaʻo School that they submitted through the Ask the Crew a Question form. So I'm going to read one of them. Actually, I'll read both of them and then you can answer them. Unless Kawaiahaʻo School, do you want to ask Maui your questions yourself?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and ask Maui your question.
Aloha, Maui.
Aloha.
How do you navigate on a cloudy night?
Oh no, they just dropped out again. It looks like we lost Maui again. So I'm sorry, we'll just hang tight and be patient until he comes back. Is that okay? Are you guys in a rush?
No.
Okay, so hopefully they'll come back in. I'm going to let them know that they dropped out again. You guys are so patient. Thank you so much. Okay, they said they're coming back in, so they should be here any second. Have you guys been following the voyage on the computer yet? No, not yet. It's really cool. Let me see if I can bring it up before they come back in. So on our website, hokulea.com, there's actually a tracking map, and it's attached so you can see where the canoes are all the time, because Hikianalia is always supposed to be within eyesight of Hokulea, so they can keep track of each other. And so on our website, there's actually a track the voyage map. Here, let me see if I can screen share it with you. It's this one right here. Do you guys see that?
Wow.
So you can see the map of how they were going around today. They went around and around the bay today doing a man overboard practice and a couple of other water trainings. And then if I zoom out, you can actually see how they came into Palikai.
Oh.
Yeah, so they left from Honolulu and you could have watched them in real time. Please don't stay up all night watching them. But when they travel, you can actually log in and see them as they sail. So these white dots are the GPS tracker that's on Hikianalia. And if you click on it, you can actually see the position report, the speed, and then the distance to the next port. So you can see the distance to the next port is Rangiroa and Tuamotu. In the Tuamotu archipelago is the next port, and so that one is the Tahiti leg. And so you'll be able to see the distance to the next one. Yeah, and you can actually like trace the whole voyage that way. Pretty cool. And I think you can actually see, if you zoom all the way out, you can see the Worldwide Voyage, the plan. So you can see where we think the canoes will land for the next 4 years. There's all these dots over here. So you should be able to see this canoe, this little canoe. It looks like a canoe milk cover. You can see it like moving around the world throughout the next 4 years on this map. Yeah. All right, so they should be coming in soon. I'm gonna stop my screen share. What else can I show you guys? Oh, there they are. Yay. Hi, Maui.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay. So we're going to resume with the class asking you their questions. Speak up, okay? Because we can barely hear you on your side. If you can speak a little louder and then ask Maui your question, that would be great.
How do you navigate on a cloudy night?
That's a good question. Navigation when you cannot see the stars. The stars are one of the best ways to navigate, I guess. But Uncle Bruce and some of the other navigators say the best way to navigate is actually to know the ocean swells and the wind, especially the ocean swells, because the ocean swells will always be there. The sun is only there during the day, and the stars are not always there, like you said, if there's clouds. So knowing how to read the ocean swells and how to feel it by the movement of the canoe can tell you what direction you're going in. Navigation is really about paying attention and connecting with nature, your natural surroundings. So not just the stars and the sun, but the wind and especially the ocean swells. So that's really what uncles say is the best way to navigate, is to be in touch with the ocean and the swells and to feel it. Good question.
Okay, you guys had one more question that you submitted, and then you can answer. You can ask another couple of questions.
Okay.
What do you do when there are rough swells?
Hold on tight. Rough swells. Yeah, we always wear our safety harness. So when things get rough, that's even more important to be safe. Honestly, when it's rough, it's kind of exciting. You know, it's if you like roller coasters or other rides like that are kind of thrilling. It's a lot like that. So you just hold on, be safe. We say one hand for you, one hand for the canoe. So we always try to keep our balance and hold tight and make sure we're safe. But really, it's kind of fun sometimes when it's rough. I just feel bad for the canoe because the canoe's hitting the water so hard. It feels like it might hurt the canoe, but they're good. So we just hang on real tight and always be safe. And we have fun.
How long have you been navigating?
Ooh, I'm actually not a navigator. I haven't been navigating yet. We have other apprentice navigators. My job right now on the Va'a, my kuleana, is to document, to use my camera, and to help bring back stories to share with all you folks and everyone else around the world. But everybody, all of us crew members on the Va'a, we learn a little bit about navigation because we all have to steer the canoe. We're all on the hoi uli, the sweep. So the navigator will tell us our heading, our line. He says, line up this star on this part of the canoe. And then so we need to be able to hold that line to keep the canoe straight. So to point the canoe where the navigator wants us to go, because if we don't steer straight, then that's going to be harder work for the navigator to work out in their head how far we've come in which direction so that they know where we are and where we need to go. But hopefully over the next 3 years, I'll have some time that I'm not having a camera in my hand or not doing work, and I can hang out with Uncle Bruce or Uncle Nainoa or any of the other apprentice navigators. Like Kaiulani Murphy gave me this really cool sheet to help me study the stars.
I also have a little app on my phone called Star Walk. So on my own time, I like to look up in the sky and use my little iPhone app, and it will tell me the names of stars. So navigation takes a lot of study, takes needs a good teacher, and it takes a lot of time to learn to be out in nature and to pay attention to the stars. So I am not a navigator right now, but hopefully at the end of 3 years, I'll learn as much as I can. And I would encourage all of you, if you're interested in it, ask your teachers, or next time when I come back, I can bring you some stuff to help you learn about navigation. But I know your teachers know some things, and they'll share that with you. And I think it's a very special skill. It's very special knowledge that's unique to our people. And we should, as many of us as possible, should try and learn and practice it. And just the very little I know already, I know how to find, Hokupa'a, the North Star, and some other stars. And when I went to the mainland, it was very comforting to be able to look up in the sky and find Hokupa'a, the North Star, and know which way is north, and then know which way is home. So just knowing that real simple little stuff is, for me, very special. And the more I learn, I know the more special it will be. So yeah, I encourage all of you to look into that. It's very cool stuff.
Lunalilo Elementary, do you
Mahalo,
have something that you want to add?
Anything else? Anybody have a question? We're okay?
Lunalilo Elementary? Sorry, it looks like you guys have something that you want to add or say. You okay? You okay? All right. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Kawaiahaʻo. Another question?
What do you do when the doctor gets sick?
What do we do when the doctor gets sick? That's a very, very good question. And that's why Dr. Zunin and the other doctors have trained what we call the medical liaisons. They're kind of like the doctor helpers. So they've gone through training, and even though they're not doctors themselves, they've been trained on things that might happen while at sea, so that if the doctor does get sick, because this is something we are training for, that they can do their best to help the doctor on board. So yeah, that's a great question. We've prepared as much as we can with our medical liaisons.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Does Hokupa'a have
It's so nice to see you all. Does Hokupa'a have a what?
safety harness?
A safety harness? Oh no. This is Hokupa'a's safety harness right here, Uncle Maui's hand. Take good care of Hokupa'a and Imiloa. Hold them on nice and tight. Me and all the other crew members. They're very special guests on our voyage, and we're gonna take very good care of them. Make sure they're safe, just like the rest of us. But maybe when I come back, we can look into getting them safety harnesses. We'll see. They're kind of small, so we'll have to get it custom.
When did navigating start?
I'm sorry, when did what start?
Navigating.
Navigating, wow. Our people have been navigating for thousands of years. I don't know when the start was, but one of my favorite books is called Voyaging Chiefs of Hawaii, with a V. It was written by Teuwida Henry, and it's online. Some of the libraries also have it, but that book can answer that question better than I can. But I will tell you, it's one of my favorite books, and it has a lot of cool stories about some of the first navigators, Ru, Hina, Rata, Moikeha, all of these wonderful stories of our navigators. And it goes back thousands of years, maybe even, I think our navigation goes back farther than most of us realize. One of the things I like to think about is if we can sail around the world today in these canoes using our traditional navigation, then I think maybe we did it a long time ago, hundreds and thousands of years ago. So it's a really cool thing to think about. But I would suggest checking out that book, Voyaging Chiefs of Hawaii by Teuira Henry. Teuira Henry.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lord of the Rings Polynesian style. There's magic and monsters and all kinds of cool stories. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait till somebody makes a movie about it. But in the meantime, just read the book. It's really short too, easy read.
Do you ever get claustrophobic on the waka?
Ah, that's a good question. I worried about that before I got on the wa'a. But thankfully, no, not yet. I've gotten claustrophobic in some other areas, but not in the wa'a, no. Even though the space is a little smaller, I'll try to get some pictures and video to send you guys of what our sleeping quarters look like, so you can see for yourself. But no, it's nice and cozy. Mahalo.
One more time.
What happened if the sail breaks?
Yes.
Well, if the sail breaks, it's actually happened before. The mast is broken, and we have people on board, like people who specialize in carpentry, and they fix it right there. There's on Hokulea, part of the safety railing is actually a backup mast and spar. So I wasn't there myself, so I don't know the exact answer, but I know things have broken on the canoe before, and you know, they were able to fix them and come back home safely. So I think Uncle Bruce or some of the more senior crew members can answer that question better. But you know, when things break, we do our best to fix it and come back home safely.
Okay, we have time for probably 2 more questions.
Even if you asked one, ask one. You're curious about something. This is your time. We're not going to maybe talk to them all summer.
Kawaiahaʻo, did you want to ask one more question?
Aloha ka Maui.
Aloha na ke Wailani.
Kristen wants to know if Hokupa is going to learn Tahitian.
Mai ta'i. Ahina ra'au e hapi ra'i hoia I te reo Tahiti, te reo Maui. E aia piti tata ma te wa'a, parau Tahiti, e hapi I mai ia'u o raua I te reo Tahiti. So yeah, Hokupa'a and Imiloa, we'll learn a little bit of Tahitian. When we get to Tahiti, we gotta be able to say at least hi and thank you and some other simple stuff. And what I was saying was there's actually 2 Tahitians on board Hikianalia, Mate and Herve, and they have been helping me learn more Tahitian myself because I want to be able to speak with my family in Tahiti in our native tongue. So yeah, Maruru is thank you, Yaurana is hello. And if I can put down some more words, if you guys have any questions about how to say things in Tahitian, go ahead, give them to Anake, and she can let me know, and we can work together on that. But yeah, great question. We're all going to learn something, and Tahitian language and Hawaiian language are very important and special things to learn. So, mai ta'itera, maruru no tomanao. Maururu iau tau. E o wau I te iau tau.
Lunalilo Elementary, do you have one more question?
Yeah, average.
What is the average speed of how fast the Hokulea goes?
That's a very good question. I would say it really depends on the weather, right? What the average speed is. I think when we're moving well, the average speed is around 5 to 8 knots. So 5 to 8 nautical miles an hour. 8 is actually really fast. So I guess the average is about 5. When it's very light, it's closer to 2. And I think the top speed is around 12 or 13. But 9 is pretty fast. So I would say the average speed is 5.
Okay.
5 knots.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Okay, guys. So I think we're gonna let Uncle Maui go. Uncle Maui, do you have any last remarks or anything that you want to say to both of your adopted schools on this first leg?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you all very, very much for supporting me and the rest of the Hokulea crew and the mission of Malama Honua. We're very, very grateful that you young ones are taking an interest in the voyage, because we're doing this for all of you and all of us and everyone else who hasn't even been born yet, to take care of our planet, to make sure it's healthy and clean and we can all live happy. So I encourage you both, now that we have Hokupa'a and Imiloa working together on the Va'a and hanging out, that you all, not just Kawaiahaʻo and Lunalilo, but as many schools and friends and family members as you can, to work together and practice Malama Honua, ask your teachers questions, read books, and follow us online, hokulea.com. And I'm very, very happy. I'm glad I got to see you all before we left on the Va'a, because I know summer's coming up, but we'll keep in touch. I'll come visit your school and we'll do a hangout when we can in the future. And I'll make sure I take good care of Hokupa'a and Imiloa, because they're taking good care of us. They're making us smile and making us happy, and they're reminding us that you all are out there with us and thinking about us. And it's very special, and I'm so happy that you're voyaging with us, guys. Thank you, kids.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to both of your schools and to your Kumus for helping make this possible for you, and thank you to Crewmember Maui for adopting these wonderful schools. So we'll all meet up again soon in a hangout like this, if not in person.
Okay, yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, Maui.
Bye. Aloha. Mahalo.
Aloha.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Aloha, Kawaiahaʻo. Aloha.
Okay, thanks, Maui. Bye. See you
Thank
soon.
you very much, Mickey. Bye.
Bye.